Hi, I'm Marisa Mariella, and this is My Easy Kitchen for Hamilton City Magazine. It's the time of year for cozy kitchen, comfort food. Call your friends over, watch the big game, watch a movie maybe, and make this delicious appetizers. We're making wontons. Yes, wontons. I'm going to show you some of my tricks. So I don't know how authentic these are, but I can guarantee you. Can you hear my dog? My dog is squeaking her toy. She's even excited about the wontons. Anyway, I can guarantee you that people are going to love these little appetizers. And, when you consider that you can buy them, how expensive would a huge party platter be of wontons? Instead, you can make them at home for pennies, and you know they're going to taste so much better. Okay, you don't even need a full carrot, so I'm going to use maybe about a half a carrot, and you could grate it if you like. But honestly, I don't even like washing the grater. You could use a food processor and give this a whirl, but then I gotta wash the food processor, so I'm just gonna stick to my knife and give these a little chop. You know, the tricks that I use is something that I've been doing for years, and I kind of feel like, cat's out of the bag, everybody's gonna know. That's okay, I'll share. It's worth sharing, so that you can make these delicious little parcels. Talk about comfort food. It's gonna smell delicious in your kitchen, and everybody knows what spices you're gonna use. Okay, so that's a carrot there. We're gonna use some green onions. There's just a few things that I think you have to have in a wonton. You know, the carrot is optional. You could use anything really. You could use water chestnuts if you like. Maybe even a little cabbage. I think green onion is a must. And then I'll show you how I season them. And it's really those seasonings that bring up that Asian flavor. Whenever I bring these wontons to a party and there's a table of all these little appetizers, okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. My wontons, they're the first to go. Okay, people come back to the table and say, oh my gosh, are they all done? And I'm kind of going, yeah, they're all done. It's just one of those really lovely little appetizers that work so well. And you can even freeze them. So you can freeze them raw, or you can even freeze them cooked. Okay, so we've got maybe 2 scallions, about half a carrot. Okay, and here's my trick. I use sausage, Italian sausage. Shh, don't tell anyone, okay? The Italian sausage works so well because you can't use a very lean meat. It just doesn't work. And this already is flavored beautifully with garlic. You can even buy hot sausage, but make sure that you buy a good quality Italian sausage. Of course, this is from Nardini's, no fillers, and it's just so delicious. If you like it hot, then just make sure you buy the spicy sausage. I didn't know if my crew here likes spicy, and I want them to be able to enjoy it. Okay, so I know it doesn't look like a lot, but this is gonna make about 100 wontons. 100! Are you thinking, oh my gosh, I don't wanna be in the kitchen all that time? I'm gonna show you how quickly I put it together. That's some sesame seed oil, you gotta use that. A little bit of rice vinegar. If you don't have rice vinegar, then just use a little bit of regular white vinegar, and then some soy sauce. Oops, maybe a little bit too much. I think that's gonna work, don't worry. Okay, and we're ready to mush these. You could use a fork, but you know what? I'm gonna use my hand because that is really the best way of getting everything mixed in. There's one more thing that I forgot. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot that. That makes it very Asian. Can you guess? Did you say ginger? Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands and I'm gonna use the ginger because you gotta have ginger in wontons. Have you ever bought this before? Isn't that beautiful? So what I do, to tell you the truth, is I keep this in the freezer because I don't go through all that in like a week. And the skin, I don't bother taking that off. If you wanted to, you could use a spoon and just scrape it off. You could do that. But it's so tender, you don't need to do it. And you're gonna scrape. Scrape, you're gonna shred, you're gonna grate, whatever. You can even chop it if you like. And then with the extra pieces, you can even make some ginger tea. Yeah, so, oh, I can smell that. It's so fragrant. So you could grate this into some water, simmer it, add a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of honey, and you've got yourself a delicious, all natural lemon honey ginger tea. I really like a lot of ginger. Okay, I think that's good. Now we're going back to mixing this. I don't have to add any salt because the sausage meat is already seasoned. Look at that, it's coming together beautifully. If you have time, you can let that sit for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm going to show you my wonton wrappers. No, I do not make my own wonton wrappers, okay? I probably could, but I don't. So I buy these ones. They're in the refrigerated section of the fresh produce, and they are already ready in these little squares. I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways to make this fast because we're gonna make 100 of them. This is the time where you call over a friend, pour yourself a glass of wine, and together you can make 50 each. That would be fun. Okay, so I've got my wrappers here. We need a little bit of glue, and that glue really comes from some cornstarch and water. So not too much. I'm gonna add just a little bit of water to that. There we go. I don't really measure. When it comes to making wontons, I'm very relaxed with it because it all works. So even that filling, if you prefer something else in there, you go ahead and do that, it's gonna work out. So I use a little brush and I just dab around the edges. And again, I'm not really too particular. Uh-oh, I think I have 2 in here, look. 2. Okay, so just dab around the edges. I think you get the idea. All right, so you could take a little bit of the filling for each one and fill it, okay? You could do that. But a faster way is to use a freezer bag. So I'm gonna put this all into my freezer bag. See if I can get a spatula. Okay, probably can't see that, but it's going into my bag. There we go. There it is. Push it all to one corner, okay? And you use a little scissor here and chop off a good size of that tip, okay? So now I have an opening. So now I can just squeeze some of it in each little square, and that makes it faster. Okay, so that's one trick. I'll show you another trick in a second. As soon as you have, maybe 6 or 7 of them ready, you can make your wontons. So no pressure. Anything will work. As long as you seal it, anything will work, okay? So we're gonna close it up like a little triangle. Push down because I'm trying to squeeze out that air. You could even do it like that. That would work. You don't think that would taste good? This would be delicious. If you want to be a little bit fancier, put a little dab here, and you could do it like this, okay? You could do it like that. To me, that looks like an Italian tortellone. So, I mean, you can do that, right? No problem. Another way of doing it is you fold it over, okay? And then see these corners? Just bring them up to the top. So now, it's like that. See the difference? Both work. Another way of doing it is, that one doesn't have a lot. I don't want the person who gets that to say, oh my gosh, there wasn't a lot of filling. There, a little bit more filling. So another way of doing it is bring it together and just scrunch it all up. Scrunch it all up. There you go. Okay, so that glue, that cornstarch and water will keep it together. I'm gonna finish these other ones and then I'm gonna show you another hack. So I've already done about 8 of them. Again, I'm going to show you a fast way of doing it. So the idea is really don't stress about making each one perfect and uniform. I love the fact that each one turns out a little bit differently. Okay, if you are very handy, you could pick it up. Pick up your little wrapper, okay? Oh, I forgot to dab it a little bit. Okay, so if you ever had the honor of cleaning a little kid's nose, this will remind you of that. So you squeeze, and you're pretending to wipe that little nose, squeeze together, and done. Okay? Got that? So you have to be a little forceful with that because you are actually trying to portion off the meat for it. So I'll show you again. Pick it up, it's already been dabbed. You squeeze, and using these fingers, kind of wiping against the bag, squeeze it together with one hand, done. Okay? So do you see how fast this could go? Right? And again, I'm not really worrying about what it's gonna look like. They're all gonna fry up absolutely beautifully. How much filling? Well, I guess it depends on you. So I like to be a little generous, but those two sausages, like I said, will make about 100 wontons. Okay? Get the idea how fast that is? So you decide. You can do one by one. You could make them fancy like this. You can make it look like that. Or you just I think Meredith, I think you said beggar's purse? Beggar's purse. We're ready to fry. If you have a little extra filling left over, you could just be a little bit more generous so you don't have any left over, but this is what I do. I have a parchment-lined cookie sheet, and I just do little dollops, and then I freeze this, and next time I'm making some soup, some chicken soup, I throw these in. Oh, let me tell you, so good. These little wontons need a little dipping sauce, so again, I'm not really gonna stress over it. Anything will work as long as you have some key ingredients. So I'm going to use some green onion because that's always nice in the dipping sauce. And then obviously some soy sauce. There we go, just a little bit. Maybe add some more ginger to it. You can really be creative here and decide on your own what you like. Look, already that looks good just as it is. I'm going to add just a touch of the sesame seed oil, and we need a little sweetness though. So this is my nephew Stinger hot honey that he makes, and it has just the right amount of sweetness and heat. There you go. We're gonna give that a little stir. That's my dipping sauce. How easy is that? We're ready to plate everything up. Remember how I mentioned that you can freeze everything? So you can freeze them single layer, fresh and raw, and then when you're ready, just pop them into the nice hot oil. Make sure it's 350 degrees. Or you can even let them cool once they are fried and then freeze them like this and then just reheat them in an oven, a preheated oven. Can you use an air fryer? Yeah, you can. They'll be okay, but you don't get the same crunch, the blistering of the wrapper. But if you have to, then go ahead and use the air fryer. I just want you to give this a try because look how lovely they look and so economical. All right, I think I'm going to try one. And look, see how cute that is? All right, I'm going to dip that in. Give it a try. Listen for the crunch. Oh, that is so good, that sauce. Maybe a little rice noodles and add that sauce to it. Okay, I can't double dip, but boy, oh boy, I really am tempted to. So good. I have to go again. That filling is beautiful. Don't tell anyone it's Italian sausage. It's perfect. Cozy up, call your friends over, and make these beautiful wontons. We'll see you next time on Marisa's Easy Kitchen for Hamilton City Magazine. Mine. So good.